What is going on, guys? The Inside the Blue podcast, and today we have a mock draft. Today, huge mock draft, another edition of me picking for every single NFL team in the first round. Some things have changed. The Combine, a lot of really good scores from some of these guys at the Combine. You know, we saw Xavier Worthy have a really good 40-yard dash. We saw some of the QBs throwing, like J.J. McCarthy, Penix Jr., a lot of guys throwing. You saw the wide receivers. You saw these defensive linemen. These guys can move, man. But anyways, let's get right into the draft. Of course, nothing has changed. Bears picking at number 1. And let's get right into it. So, of course, we look at the board and everything. A lot of things haven't really changed in terms of the previous mock draft that I had. But a lot of people have dropped. It looks like Vashanu looks to be more of a lower tier tackle in this draft. They got Jaden Daniels all the way down at 22. Peyton Wilson has climbed up the board. J.J. McCarthy a bit. Brian Thomas Jr., Jackson Powers Johnson. All these guys, Cooper DeJean, all these guys. But getting into the first pick of the NFL draft, probably the most interesting selection, in my opinion, because we don't necessarily know what the Bears are going to do yet. We don't know if they're going to trade the pick. We don't know where they're going to go, whether they take Caleb Williams or not. But I think this is more of a pick that we kind of know what's going on. It's either they're taking Caleb Williams or they're trading down with a team that wants to trade up, whether that's the Vikings, the Giants, the Falcons, teams like that. But it's still Caleb Williams for me at number 1. Of course, really good prospect. Throws the ball well, extends plays. Sometimes, though, he there's an open wide receiver and he doesn't hit him right away and he creates more havoc. But Commanders at number 2. Of course, Sam Howell being their QB, but we don't really know with the new management, the new head coach under Dan Quinn. We don't know if he wants to stick with Sam Howell or he wants to go with a guy like Drake May or a guy like Jaden Daniels. But it's an interesting selection here, in my opinion. I do have them selecting a quarterback in this draft, but I don't have them taking Drake May in this one. I have them taking Jaden Daniels. Another really solid prospect, in my opinion. I think he's got good tools, but a lot of people do have some concern with him. But I think, Commanders taking a QB at 2 is not the wrong choice at all. I really do believe it's going to go 1, 2, 3 with quarterbacks. And now we head to pick number 3. Kind of an easy selection for the Patriots. I think this has Drake May written all over it. Maybe Marvin Harrison Jr. Or maybe they go Joe Alt, but I don't believe they're going to go Joe Alt. I really do believe this is a Drake May selection here. So Drake May heading to New England under the new head coach, followed by Marvin Harrison Jr. right away with the Cardinals. Now we get to the number 5 pick. Number 5 pick in this draft. This really feels like 3 players in my eyes that can go to the Chargers realistically. That's Malik Neighbors, Brock Bowers, and Joe Alt. I think those 3 guys really can become LA Chargers under that new team with Harbaugh. I really do believe any 3 of these picks for the Chargers are a great selection. I think they can go with a guy like Brock Bowers, who's a really versatile athlete, best tight end in the draft, and I think that would fit really well with the Michigan offense. They can go with another offensive lineman, but I really do believe getting more weapons for Justin Herbert's huge, and I think it really comes down to Malik Neighbors and you know, and Brock Bowers. I think for Brock Bowers, the lowest he's going to go is at pick 9. That's kind of what I think. I think Brock Bowers is definitely going to get selected in the top 10. It's really just, I think it's either the Chargers or the Bears that are going to select them. But nonetheless, I think this is a really good spot for the Chargers to take Brock Bowers here. And I'm going to take Brock Bowers again. I really think Brock Bowers has the opportunity to be at the number 5 pick, which gives the New York Giants, my New York Giants, an option at pick number 6. Quarterback is kind of out of the blue now. I don't really see them taking a J.J. McCarthy here or Bo Nix in the first round. I think this is more Malik Neighbors' spot for the New York Giants, or Joe Alt, or even Rome Odunze. I think those 3 players kind of fit well with the New York Giants, but this feels like this really does feel like Malik Neighbors. And I'm going to have a video out of why I think wide receiver should be the position of need over the position of Joe Alt. I think these are 2 really solid prospects. I think either the Giants go Joe Alt or they go Malik Neighbors. I think it's 2 really solid selections, but I think in terms of value, it's Malik Neighbors at 6. And that gets us right into our next pick, which is going to probably be a wide receiver here. I think so. I really think that the Titans do need weapons, and I think Rome Odunze would fit them really well, which now gets us to our first defensive player taken off the board. Yes, first defensive player. I do have them taking Dallas Turner in this spot. Really solid edge rusher out of Alabama. Heading now to the number 9 pick with the Chicago Bears. I think they can go a lot of different options here. Obviously Joe Alt still on the board, but I don't really see them taking a guy like Joe Alt, or really a Cooper DeJean either. This could be a Johnny Newton spot, and I think that's who I'm going to go with. I'm going to take Johnny Newton out of Illinois, which means the New York Jets get their prized possession on Joe Alt. Really solid pick there from the New York Jets to get a guy like Joe Alt at that spot at pick 10, avoiding everybody to take them. But now we get into the number 11 pick in this draft, and a lot of different situations not the Giants, I keep saying Giants, the Vikings can go. We look at all their needs: quarterback, running back, guard, center, D-line, linebacker, defensive back, all that stuff. A lot of stuff there, definitely. I do think this could be a lot of different things. It could be a cornerback situation as well. I don't know if they would take a quarterback here. We do all know the hype around J.J. McCarthy, right? He had a really solid year, and I think a lot of teams like J.J. McCarthy in the first round. I really do believe that. But this is just a tough spot for me. I really think they could go offensive line here, but I think realistically, with some of these guys still on the board, this kind of just really feels defense to me here, and I'm taking Teron Arnold here, I think. Either him or Jared Verse, probably. Actually, found a different man that they could select here. That's going to be Latu. Didn't even see him on my board, but he is the quarterback. Edge rusher. Heading now to the Broncos. They just got rid of Russell Wilson to bring in Michigan quarterback J.J. McCarthy. I think he's going to be the quarterback of the Denver Broncos, and for the Raiders now, kind of feeling defense here. Just kind of screams defense, even though there's so many good players here that they can go after, but a lot of good tackles on the board still that have not been selected. But I do question if Michael Penix Jr. is going to be another quarterback off the board. But I just don't know with Penix. I feel like Penix and Bo Nix are day 2 guys on a lot of GM's boards. But I am probably going to go defense here with the amount of talent that is here. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting spot here, I think, at least. But they need offensive line, it says, as well. But I just think for the Raiders, right, new head coach Antonio Pierce had a pretty solid end to his first season, right? They beat Mahomes, and they did all sorts of stuff like that. But it kind of just feels for me that this is a spot with the Raiders that can really help them, because I think this does kind of scream quarterback, and I'm gonna say, why not? Why not the Raiders select Michael Penix Jr. and take the risk, right? Why not? Let's get a little funky with it. Michael Penix Jr. also goes in the first round. Now with 2 quarterbacks going off the board, he's still out here, and that's Fashanu. Fashanu heading to the Saints. That's my timer. My bad. But the Colts picking up now in their spot, pick number 15. A lot of different options they can go to. There's still wide receivers out there that can be selected. But I have them taking a cornerback here. I have them taking Nate Wiggins. Same as last time. Now we get to the Seattle Seahawks. And why not them taking Washington College offensive lineman who had a really solid year. In my opinion, really was one of the bright spots on that offensive line. I took Jared Verse in the previous one. This time I'm taking Troy Vestanu. And I feel like that pick kind of just makes perfect sense there. Heading to the next selection. Of course, a lot of people still on this board. Cooper DeJean still being on the board. There's still some solid offensive linemen here that can possibly get selected, like a J.C. Latham and stuff like that. But Jared Verse is still here. Right, he's right here, and I think he is going to go to the Jaguars. With that being said, next on my board I have J.C. Latham Heading to the Bengals. Rams taking who do I have them taking here? Oop. Where is he? I have them taking a very solid player out of Alabama, Teron Arnold, followed by an offensive lineman. A lot of guys still here. This one's going to be Viraga, though. Kind of waited on him for a while. And I feel like he's a really solid selection there. Heading now to the Miami Dolphins. This one's kind of got Jackson Powers Johnson written all over it. And now we head to the Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles. Who are they going to select in this draft? Is it going to be Cooper DeJean? Is it going to be Quinn Mitchell? No, no, no. It is going to be Kool-Aid McKinstry out of the Alabama. Followed by this pick, I do have the Texans had a wide receiver taken last time. That's not going to be the case this time. Byron Murphy staying in Texas, as Dallas does not get the they don't get him this time either. Byron Murphy. We have Dallas selecting a offensive lineman, and that is indeed Mars Mims. Heading to Green Bay now. I have them taking Cooper DeJean. I also and now we head to the Bucks now. I think I had the Bucks taking Cooper DeJean the previous one. Yeah, I did. That's going to change this time. A lot of options they can go here. I think this is kind of an offensive line pick. Here I feel, offensive line really could be a difference here. But I think in terms for the Bucks, kind of a tough decision here. They can go linebacker, and I think they're going to go linebacker here. That's going to be Peyton Wilson in the first round. Now that brings up the Cardinals. Have them taking a wide receiver here, and that is indeed going to be Brian Thomas Jr. So now I did actually just realize when I did take that first pick, I kind of just messed up on that pick because we had them taking Marvin Harrison Jr. as our first pick, and now they go 2 wide receivers in the first round. So that is definitely on my bad. Because I was actually gonna have the Bills take Brian Thomas Jr. They're still gonna take a wide receiver though. They're gonna be taking Adonai Mitchell from Texas. The Lions are gonna go with Quinnen Mitchell. Ravens getting a little different here. They're going to be taking another wide receiver. This one's going to be Lad McConkey, I believe that's how you name it. We head to the final 2 picks now with the 49ers and the Chiefs. I do have the 49ers taking offensive line. That's going to be Graham Barton. And then to wrap up the first round, we do indeed have the where actually do they have Xavier Worthy? Did we take Xavier Worthy at all? Oh, he's down there. Oh, he's all the way down here. But we are going to be taking with our final pick in the first round. He's still here in the first round. You know, I think we took Devontae Walker the previous time, but with Troy Franklin still being here, I'm going to be taking Troy Franklin from Oregon Ducks. But anyways, that is our first round mock draft for this second time. Kind of a different first three. You know, Jaden Daniels heading at number 2. Nothing really changed too much, in my opinion, in this draft, right? Johnny Newton still going to the Bears. We had Joe Alt this time going to the Jets. We had 2 straight picks with Penix and McCarthy. Saints get Vashanu. Nate Wiggins goes to the Colts. And then we head up the board. Jared Verse in a different spot this time. We had him going to the Jaguars. But we had Viraga going later in the draft that I realized was because Joe Alt went to the Jets instead. Kool-Aid McKinstry going to the Eagles. Dallas goes offensive line again. Now, of course, we know that this is probably not going to be what the first round looks like. There could be some trades. But, yeah, we're going to watch the draft eventually. See where teams go. Where do my Giants go? Because mainly it's about the Giants. And, I know, my picks for other teams and what I think about the other teams and where I think they can go. But anyways, guys, that's another mock draft. I appreciate you guys all sticking around. Hopefully you guys stuck around for the entire video. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.